Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jacob. Jacob's from Houston in Texas in the USA. So let's see what Jacob has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Jacob, how are you?
Doing good. How are you? Of
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
course, I'm excited.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's good. So as of right now, I'm at the gym. I'm doing a little bit of workout, and I have this interview with you, and then I'm going to the Renaissance Festival after.
So tell me a little bit more about this festival happening today.
So it's kind of like a period piece kind of festival. So it's like the Renaissance era, like Stone Age, Middle Earth, like different kinds of themes. And like they'll do Scottish weekend, Barbarian weekend, different things like that. So I'm excited. It's kind of fun to dress up and, you know, do something fun like that.
So tell me, where you're from, Jacob.
I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised. Been here my whole life. I'm 36.
So tell me what was the best part of growing up in Houston, in Texas?
Well, I grew up in a little small town, like right outside of Houston. And I would say the best parts were just being really close with my family. It was very like a small town country environment. And so lots of, we had a pond, we had like four-wheelers. And so a lot of camping out over the weekends. And I would say that was the best part, like just spending time with family and doing little down home country things.
Amazing. And what do you do for work, for living?
Currently, I do massage therapy for a living full time. I also do real estate.
Mhm.
Um, I was doing occupational therapy for about 9 years, but during the pandemic, I stopped doing that. So now I've been doing full-time massage. Um, and I'm also going to school for sign language interpreting. So
Oh wow. Actually today I saw one of your videos. You're talking sign language.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. So I stay pretty busy.
Wow, I can see for sure. And why sign language? Why you decided to start this journey?
It's a great question. I would say the main reason for me, um, I guess there's several, but I've always been interested in the deaf community, but I've never had a means of being able to communicate with anyone who is deaf. I wasn't exposed to the deaf community growing up or, classmates or anything like that. And one of my massage clients uh, actually is an interpreter. And I was talking to him about like what I will do for, my next career since I didn't want to like retire massaging because eventually my body will give out. And he was like, "Oh, you should be an interpreter." And it gets got me thinking. I was like, that would be really exciting and fun. And again, like I've always had like an affinity towards the deaf community, just never had a means to be able to communicate. And the more I looked into the program, the more I started like going to deaf socials and engaging with the deaf community and making friends. And I've fallen in love with the community. I've made some really great friends, and I just like really look forward to like that future and seeing where it takes me.
Wow, a beautiful Jacob. I love that. I think it's beautiful that knowing that you got interested somehow in the community and now you are just giving your best and enjoying and learning as well. I think it's amazing. I'm gonna share a very fun fact about that. Um, of course, when I invite people here, to the show, it's the same way I invited you. Yeah, I just literally just fire the question and people replies, and that's how it started. And I think 2 years ago, I sent a message to a lovely man in Australia, and he replied back, said, "Oh my God, I love your show. However, I'm deaf." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So straight away I started thinking, my God, how are we gonna, you know what I mean? I would love him to he said, I would like to participate. So, and he said, okay, let's do like that. He got an interpreter. So the interpreter was behind the camera. So the interpreter could hear my voice. And he was literally talking to me in sign languages. And we were literally talking. It was an amazing, beautiful interview. And I was
Right.
so happy that happens, because, and he literally sent me as well a feedback video afterwards talking about the interview, how he enjoyed. And it was so special that I put it out on Christmas Day, because it was close to Christmas. And I think, oh my God, that's the best interview to go out on live on Christmas Day. And I loved it because somehow he didn't put an obstacle in front. He found a solution, and I love that. I think that's amazing. Sometimes we need to embrace and, give space for people as well, because you never know, you know what I mean? People, they have such an amazing story. And he said, I'd love to be part of the show. And we worked it out. And it was an amazing interview. I'm going to send to you the link for you to watch it.
Yeah, please do. That'd be great. Yeah,
Amazing.
that's the exciting part. It's like there's this whole world of people and experiences that people in the hearing world just don't have any access to, because we're not around that. Like, we're not raised or taught how to bridge that gap. And so being that I'm going through this program, like, you're just getting all this exposure to these people that it's like, wow, like, I had no idea.
Totally.
So that's a really cool story that you got to interview someone.
Totally. And he
I
was a
hope to,
dancer.
I hope to be able to help with those kind of things, like, to provide that access to people.
Totally, absolutely. And I loved it, somehow, I didn't know, of course, I didn't know was in his profile. And I just, even though and I loved it because it was a great interview, and his life as well is amazing life. Like, he's been living in Australia, he's from Asia, but he's been there for most of his life. He graduated there. So his life is like an amazing story. So I'll send that to you for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jacob, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best. Full of wonderful questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax before the first question, right?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Sounds good.
First question is, what's the biggest risk have you ever taken?
Well, I mean, I've taken a lot of risk in life. It's hard to pinpoint the biggest. I've had a lot of like life changes, because I'm never scared to like just completely change directions in life. Um, I would say the biggest one was deciding to stop doing occupational therapy during the pandemic. And it it was a huge risk because that was my main source of income. And I had been doing it for a long time, almost a decade. And I was really good at it. And it's a very heartfelt, like, warm community and profession to have. It's a lot of respect goes behind it. And
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of my identity. And so it was a huge risk for me to just say, like, I think I'm done with this. Like, I want to do something different, and I want to invest my time somewhere else. So I'd say that was the biggest risk, and it paid off. It was a huge life change. And then I started doing, massage full time, and now it's leading me to a new career going for sign language. So it's been great. And I also chose to leave the profession to like go and help take care of my mother. Um, and within like 3 months of me like leaving my job, she ended up getting better. And so it was
Wow.
it kind of, you know, triggered a lot of things to change in my life, but also like everything has worked out for the best, and I'm much happier now.
Wow. And when was the moment that the turn point that you thought, okay, I need to change my career. I need to, I mean, to start a new journey. Did something happen, or just genuinely just felt like, okay, I feel like it's done for me?
Mm, The I guess the window that opened up for me as my license was up for renewal.
Right.
And so I had like a good 4 months to think on it and say, like, at the end of this year, it's time for my license to come up for renewal. Do I want to just let my license go? Or do I want to keep my license and try to find something else to do? And letting my license go, though it probably sounded like a really terrible idea, because it's like, okay, you need to have this fallback. I didn't want that. I wanted to force myself to make a life change. And I would say like the moment of that that change was, not letting my license renew or renewing it myself. So that kind of like created an exact moment of like, okay, on this day, like you're no longer doing that. And now you have to make it work. You have to find a new path. And so like I forced myself to do it on purpose so that I wouldn't, you know, go back to what was easy.
I see. Great. Next question. Let's do it.
And I can get long-winded, so if you need me to make him shorter, just tell me.
It's okay. Just be yourself. It's fine. Right. Next question is, which movie had a big influence on you?
Ooh, love that question. The movie Beaches by Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey.
Why is that?
So it's about a young friendship of like kids. They grow older and then one battles cancer. It's just like the life journey of these two women, and you know creating a strong bond when they're little, and having very, very different upbringings and different personalities. One's rich, one's poor and just an artist. And then they kind of like life switch later on where you know the creative one becomes famous and the rich one becomes depressed. And it's just a beautiful journey. And I've always thought it was a beautiful movie, and it's always been my go-to whenever I have like a buildup of emotions. um I call it like my time of the month for being a man. Like if I'm like I need to have some kind of release, then I will go and watch that movie and just have a good little cry and kind of self-regulate. And it's always been my go-to favorite movie.
Wow, it's interesting how those movies just give a big impact in our lives, isn't it? It's just like a comfort place to be. It's a comfort.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Next question. Let's do it. For the next question, of course, being a massage therapist, I believe that you deal with a lot of emotions, a lot of energy. You share a lot of energy with your client, your patient. My question for you is, what do you do to somehow block some emotions that sometimes can be negative? You know what I mean? Of course, it's a lot of things going on during the massage. I'm sure you absorb a lot of energy and you give away a lot of energy as well. My question for you is, do you have like a way for you to block the negative energy not to bring to your personal life, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually have three. I have three ways because I am very conscious of the energy exchange that goes on during a massage. Um, I would say the first thing that I do whenever I'm working on somebody, I reach out to my higher power, which is it has a name, or he has a name. It's Lomi, which is I don't know. Um, and it's just this guide that I've created and that has like been with me for a long time, and it has shifted over the years, but now it's like a definite person, and they have a presence. And whenever I'm doing a massage, like if it's before the massage or if it's during the massage, I can just kind of like close my eyes and call on them. and say, hey, I need you to like help me filter this transaction, this interaction with someone, um, so that I can be like, just a clear conduit that they can, pass through me and just go back. And that's one. And that's pretty much an instant relief for me. Like if I'm feeling heavy, if I'm feeling like the bog down of energy, then I can do that and it helps. Another thing I do are mantras. I have two big mantras that I use in my life. And one is I see you whole, happy, and complete, pain free and flexible, full of love and relieve of negative energy. And so I do that, like I'll just repeat that during the massage. And that keeps like a nice, peaceful energy, as well as like I feel like I'm pushing like through like their energy that they may have. And then the other one, which is like the Hopo Ono, which, like I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I do that one a lot as well. So those are the three main ones that I do to regulate the energy of the experience.
And personally for you, how many massage do you feel comfortable and physically comfortable as well to give, like for a day, for example? For you, it's okay, it's the limit for you.
My max is 4.
Or okay,
All of my massages are typically like an hour and a half, and I try not to do more than 4 in a day.
I see.
And I
Okay,
usually do about 40, like 40 to 50 a month. So
so
I stay pretty busy.
I see. Okay. Next question is, how do you make friends?
Well, prior to getting into sign language, I would say most of my friends came from coworkers. Um, I'm sober, so a lot of my friend groups are built from like the sober community and school, because I've been in a school to some degree like most of my life. Because I have an associate's degree from the OT, and now I'm in school again for sign language, and then also school for real estate. So I've just been school a long time, and a lot of my friends have come from, high school or college. And I'm pretty codependent on my partner. So a lot of my friends are his friends. Um,
Oh,
but that's why I'm excited about doing sign language, because I'm building my own community and my own friendships.
beautiful.
And it's like we have our own secret language, so it's even cooler.
I love that. I love that. Jacob, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Jacob?
Um, I'm I like to say that I'm chronically optimistic. So the best part about being me is I always have like a good disposition on life.
Mm-hmm.
I can see perspective in everything. So nothing really gets me down, and nothing really gets me upset. So whether whatever it is, like I'm either happy or I'm able to find a purpose for what has happened and stay positive. I'd say that's the best part.
Beautiful. Next question, ready? Let's do it. Next one. Next question is, tell me something that made you smile genuinely.
That makes me smile genuinely.
Yeah, something that happened to you, let's say, for the last few days that made you smile genuinely. I can tell you something that made me smile. Like when, like based on you, when I was seeing your profile, there was like a video that say, "Why not?" And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. And that was,
I was like, "Wow."
yeah, that was just like a corny. I go through these little phases where I'm like really posting a lot on social media, and then where sometimes I get like defeated by
I
the algorithm, where it's like, okay, one video got really good and then another video like didn't. And so I'm just like, well, maybe it's just time for, maybe I'm not in season.
feel
um,
so.
I would say something that happened the other day that made me smile. Um, I dressed like I got a haircut, and I love getting a haircut. Like nothing gets me more like excited than a haircut. Uh,
Yeah.
but I got a haircut, and then I felt just kind of edgy. I was like, "Ooh, like this new sharp look," and um, I put on a semi-controversial shirt for school, uh, and then I went and one of my classmates, she was like, "Oh, you look cute today," and I was like, "Thanks." She was like, "You look extra gay," and I was like, "Thanks," and it was just really funny. And
Oh,
I like took that as a compliment because it's like I like being authentic, whether
yeah.
it's controversial or not. Like I just am me, and in my life, that's always been like a pretty much a steady like you get what you see, and I'm pretty straightforward. But
I
I guess
love to have.
the answer.
Absolutely, of course, and I think as well. You talk about haircuts. I love. I think everyone when you have haircuts, it's like I made a joke once with the hairdresser. Said it's just I feel like all my sins are gone. I feel like lighter.
I can see that. You know that makes a lot of sense actually, because I've back in 2021, 2020 was crazy, right?
Yeah,
And at the in 2021, like I had quit my job, was no longer doing OT. I was now doing massage full time. And then I picked up this job working at like an adult store. And I was like, I'm just gonna do whatever feels good, I'm just gonna be me. And I like grew out a mullet, and I'm working at like this adult store, and I'm just having fun. And I no longer have like that pressure of like keeping this corporate business life presence. And so yeah, and so then whenever I left doing all that, I got that like a nice haircut and got rid of the mullet and had like this fade, and I was like, oh, I feel like I've cut off the sin. So I felt exactly like you said, like wash off those deeds.
I know. I know. It's like we have an eye in your head, like an angel. Next question. Next question is what was your best friend's name growing up, and why did you consider this person your best friend at the time?
um I'm well, I probably have a couple answers for this because I'm really good at compartmentalizing. And so I have different friends for different aspects of me, like
Mhm.
multiple personality person. But all of my friends are very different, like very different. And I would say some of my childhood friends, um, that I'm still friends with today, like from, first grade. Um, what was the question? Like why?
What's the name of your friends growing up?
Oh, uh, so there was Lindsay, and I'm still
Mhm.
friends with her today. Um, there was my cousins. I was really like my family was my best friends because I wasn't really allowed to go and do things with classmates. So
Right.
my family, which was like Leah and Mike, um, my cousin BJ, like they lived with us. They were over all the time.
I
They were my best
see.
friends. Like, and then yeah, and I'm still very close with all of them. They're still my best friends.
And for you, how was for you growing up as a queer gay boy? Did you have the support of your family? How was for it was a bit tricky at the time?
Mm, it I think there was this maybe like assumption that I might be gay.
Mhm.
Uh, but every time it was kind of brought up, like I just kind of shot it down. And so I didn't come out until my first year of college. But I mean, I
Okay.
definitely had plenty of experiences. I had plenty of exposure to like this is maybe what I am and who I am and what I prefer. Um, but I wasn't ready for that conversation with my family yet or with school. I grew up in like a very conservative town, and of the people that were in my school that were open, like they weren't necessarily treated the best. And
Wow.
I didn't know how to handle that. Like how would I handle that at school? How would I handle that at home? And so it it wasn't until after high school, like my first year of college, that I came out, which it went really well. Um, my parents were very supportive. It's a really funny kind of story, actually. So I was secretly dating a guy, and he was in the military, and um, he was getting deployed to go to Iraq, and I was upset, and I called my mom, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I can't tell you," and she's like, "You're gay and you have a boyfriend." I'm like, "Oh yes." So it was really like weird that she already knew, which I think like there was probably a lot of things that she knew that I didn't know that she knew, and she was just like also not sure how to bring it up to me.
Oh, wow.
Um, but yeah, so I that was the night I came out, and my mom was just worried that I was being safe and that I wasn't like, doing drugs or just going to like, you know, sex parties and stuff like that. Like she just wanted me to be safe. And my dad, his response was, "Well, does he like to hunt and fish?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Daddy's in the military. I guess he likes guns." And I'm like, and he was like, "All right, well, do you want to go fishing?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, let's go fishing." And so
Oh,
my friend Lindsay that I was talking about earlier, my dad, her, and I, like we all went fishing that night, and that's how we handled it as a family. And
oh, that's sweet.
yeah,
That's sweet.
my mom called everybody in my family, like, and my last name is Boudreaux, so I have a big family, and she called all of them and was like, "Hey, Jake's gay. We love him. If you don't support that, like, you're out."
Wow.
And so, most all of them were like, "No, we love Jake. We're happy that he's, being himself." And there was only like two that were like, "Oh, I don't believe in that." And it's like, "Okay, bye." And they stuck with it. Like we still don't have a relationship today.
Oh, wow.
It was weird, and it put a lot of pressure on me to like to have to take that on. Like, "Oh, you decided this, and now it's like it's my fault that we don't have that relationship." But in the moment, I was like, "This is great." And another funny part to that coming out story, I would say maybe a month later, it was my mom's birthday, and she was like, "I want to go to that bar that you're always going to." And it was a gay bar. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "I want to see these kind of people you're hanging out with." And so we all went, like my mom, my dad, my brother, his wife, like five of my
Wow.
cousins. We all went to the local gay bar.
I
And
love it.
and my mom's just like a very conservative Baptist woman. My dad's Catholic, and my mom's just sitting on the bar, and she's just like, and my listening to techno music, and my dad's just like beating on her back to the beat, and it was really a great experience. I didn't realize in that moment how um, extremely important that was and validating to to my acceptance.
I love it.
It was huge. It was
Wow.
just fun in the moment, but looking back, it's like that was profound.
Right. So your parents, they are watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say? They're watching.
If I were talking to my parents right now and they were watching, I would say that they did everything right. They were the best parents. Um, Everything they wanted to achieve in me and my brother, they did.
Wow.
Uh, we're both super good people and just genuine, and it's all because of them. They were just the absolute ideal parents, and they still make us, be inspired to be good people.
Beautiful. I love them. Beautiful.
I said they're really great people.
Oh, I'm sure, my God, I love that story that I would like to go to a gay bar. It's my birthday. Oh my God. Imagine every mom like, supporting gay queer child like that. You know, I had here a lovely lady on the show, and her son is gay, and he being part of the show as well. And I had an interview with her, and she said something very beautiful. She said, "William, I think every mom should have a gay son at least once, because you learn so much of them. It's a different world that comes into your life that you just learn a lot of that." I found so beautiful that as well. I think, you know, when you have the support of your parents, somehow it just makes a difference for sure.
Right. And that's a good point because it really touches on like, unless you've had to have exposure to these other communities, like it's hard to have the compassion sometimes.
Yes.
I've had to educate my mom on some things before because she's very accepting of me, but I've always been like I grew up country. Like
Yeah, of course.
I don't have the stereotypical like gay presence. I mean, maybe
Right.
online, maybe on social media, yeah. But when I'm around them, like I just look like any normal straight person
Yeah.
until I talk. And so she's always, she has said before, like, I'm so lucky, you're not real feminine. I'm like, Mom, like that's not something to like compliment. Like, I wish you would understand, like, if I could have been anything. Like, I'm glad that you love me for who I am,
Totally.
but don't have a caveat of like, oh, I'm glad you're not that. And so I've had to educate her a lot,
Which,
whether
which,
trans or a drag queen or more feminine or anything. Like I am who I am, but if I were something else, like I'm sure you would have still loved me.
Totally, and I get your point. I think sometimes even ourselves, there are sometimes we need to educate ourselves in different topics as well that you're not familiar with. You know what I mean? So
Right.
all of us we're in the same boat. You just need to educate us ourselves, understand more, and somehow not to offended or not to put in a situation that you just because you don't know. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
I understand your point. Okay, next question is: if you could have a cup of tea or a coffee with a fictional character, who that would be and why?
Well, I know what it would be. It would be a chai latte with soy milk. And who it would be with, I guess, um, I guess I'll say um, Ash from Pokemon, just because
Okay,
he was so like charismatic and funny and just like playful. And it just seems like he would be like a really fun person to like be around. And I like being lighthearted. And so like just imagine drinking a cup of chai with him would be just fabulous.
I love
And
it.
that's what I got.
Amazing. Two questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me what sign language has taught you so far. Since you've been part of the community, you start learning, starting this beautiful journey. Tell me what has taught you so far, a beautiful lesson.
Uh, Lots of beautiful lessons. I'd say some of the first thing that pops up is like the perspective, and then just not ever have even like considered um like for example, like you had that interview with that guy, and it's like, oh well, like how do you make it work? So many things are coming to my mind. Just understanding that it's just a loss of hearing. There is nothing about them that's any different or less than or more than, like they're the same person, they just can't hear.
Yeah.
And so if I were to like know that going back, like I wish I would have like made an effort to bridge that myself. I would say that's like a huge thing that I've learned. Like it's just like you don't know what you don't know. And there's like this misconception generally about like people that are deaf having other ailments or other like disabilities, and it's not the case. Like I mean, it can be, but it's not, it doesn't come automatically. And so that was um, good to learn. I wouldn't say that's necessarily my perspective that I had before. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Uh, but that they're just normal people that have a loss of hearing. And the other thing is, um, I guess the history. I've really
Mhm.
been fascinated with learning the history of how it was created. Um, because sign language, was introduced to the American population, you know, before it was just, people were deaf and they had like home signs, which is where like family members like make gestures and that's just how they communicate and it's just limited. And then over the years, like kind of like language expands and you learn new phrases like Riz and Skibbity. Like there's new language being introduced and sign languages like that too. Like you have to grow. Um, but I was really fascinated with just like how it was created. And, you know, I will say like unfortunately, like other parts of society, like over the years, you know, America doesn't necessarily have a great history in some aspects, especially when it comes to education, you know, or segregation, anything like that. Like, and all of that impacted the deaf community just as hard, and took even longer to develop because of those segregation or different understandings. And I can relate to that, like being a gay person, you know, in the past, being gay was a disability, you know, being gay was disability and having HIV or something like that, like was a death sentence. So I understand what that means to to have like a cultural shift to where now it's more accepting or more accepted. Um, I don't know. I can go off in the weeds. I'm sure I'll start getting too all out there.
No,
But yeah,
understand.
other things.
No, understand your point. I think it's just you can. There's so many aspects that that you can learn and you can understand that and I think just you when you are part of it like you are right now, and you know that you start to understand that people from us outside, we don't know, or we don't have idea how big it can be. Understand?
Yeah. Like a
Okay.
to touch more on it, a really fascinating aspect is like um, with segregation, you had like ASL, but then you also had like Black ASL because of the segregation. So now today there's still like a sense that ASL is like the only way, and a whole like multiple generations of like African American people have this language that they understand, but like other people aren't exposed to it or acknowledge that it exists. And so it's really interesting. And those are like it's fascinating.
Amazing.
And, yeah.
Okay. Next question is, oh my God, that's my favorite question of the magic box and came up for you. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for.
Okay. Um, if I had to send someone a message, and I'm not telling who it is, um, I'll say, for as long as I've known you, you have been that steadfast beacon of inspiration, growth, strength, stability, joy, and everything that's so amazing and positive that someone can be. And though you're having some struggles right now, it's because you're growing at such a rapid pace that it feels like a struggle. And just stay strong, remember who you are, and know that you're going through a hard time like a butterfly. You're about to break out of that cocoon that's holding you back. And I've always known that you've been just the most one of the most valuable assets to my life. And I just want you to remember that you are that for me, and you can also be that for yourself. And just keep doing what you got to do.
Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Amazing. Last question, ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Last one. How do you know how to say last question in sign language?
Well, if you were asking me, you would say last question. So if I were asking you, I would say last question.
Last question. Beautiful. Let's do it. Okay, last question for you is, who is your biggest idol and what have learned with this person?
That has shifted over the years. My biggest idol was Jim Carrey for the longest time, and I still love Jim Carrey. Don't get me wrong, I love Jim Carrey. And now, kind of vain. I feel like it's myself.
Absolutely,
I know that
yes.
sounds crazy, but I'm really proud of myself right now. And I
I
wouldn't
love
call myself my idol, but
Yeah, you're an idol. Why not? You can call that.
that doesn't sound very inspirational for myself. Um,
And why is that? Why do you feel like you appreciate a lot about the place you are right now?
that's probably a better way to put it. Like where I'm at versus who I am. This like unquenchable thirst for knowledge that I have right now. This, like the things that are motivating me right now are to grow and to help people and to be funny and successful. And I'm working on like my physical health. Like I've started going to the gym after, I'm 36 and I had never been to the gym by myself ever.
Wow.
Now I've gone twice by myself, and it's like this hugely scary thing that I'm like learning how to do, and
I
it's
love it.
ridiculous, but I'm doing it. And just being like supportive. I've had a lot of losses lately, and I've made sure to like step up and be there for the people that are going through hard times. And like I'm really proud of, not procrastinating and being proactive in the things that I want in my life. And I want people to be inspired by me, like on purpose. Like I want to be that person that people look up to. And I'm really proud of myself because I'm doing it. Like I'm being the person that I want other people to be like, yeah, I want to be like him. And I guess with so much that's going on in the world right now, like I don't have like a specific, celebrity that I'm looking up to. I'm just being me in this really crazy world, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm in a happy, positive place in my life. And I love my husband. Next week is our 10-year anniversary, and
10 years.
yeah, 10
Oh,
years.
beautiful, beautiful.
And I'm really inspired by him as well. He's an amazing person.
Oh, what's his name?
Corey.
Corey, send my regards for your 10th anniversary with Jacob. Oh my God, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm so glad he mentioned that now. I think 10 years, you know what I mean? It's a decade of, of learning, of being together. I think it's a great. Look, your eyes shining talking about him.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
He's the amount of things that he has conquered in our 10 years is just, it's unbelievable, really.
Wow.
Compared to the person I met him as and who he is now. Like he his strive for not perfection but for growth in himself is like, it's just wild. Like he probably has 50 self-help books and is always going to like meetings and conferences and little things to like just become a better person. And I think that that's admirable. And he's not perfect, but he certainly works at it. And I think that that's so important.
Amazing, beautiful. We couldn't finish the questions with this beautiful way of spreading love, and I think it's just great for you to be able to say, you know, I've been with someone for 10 years. I think it's beautiful, for sure. Right, yeah. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Money, one word.
Pressure.
Family.
Everything.
Life.
Big.
Fear.
Unnecessary.
Love.
Important.
Religion.
Complicated.
Sex.
Complicated.
Politics. Complicated. I'm joking.
Fear.
Okay. Friendship.
Special.
Desire.
The color red.
Regret.
Inspiring.
I like that. Success.
Subjective.
Wish.
Forward.
Happiness.
Smile.
One word for Texas.
Trees.
One word for USA.
Diversity.
One word for sign language.
Love.
And how do I say love in sign language?
Well, there's lots of ways. So there's like love. There's love, which is like you kiss love something. There's like love, which is like I love you, just a you, but that's like the universal, like I love you.
Wow, beautiful. And if you could define this 10 years of relationship with your partner in one word, what that would be?
Adventure.
Beautiful. Okay, let's pretend I'm going to meet him for a coffee. Yeah, Corey. And I'm going to ask him, define Jacob in one positive word and one negative word only, what he would say.
If he were to describe me in one word, positive, he would say Labrador, which is just like I'm a very attentive puppy.
Oh,
like, I'm just like, what can I do? And if it were negative, he would say lazy.
Okay. 10 years, he knows you very well.
Mm-hmm. He thinks I'm very highly distracted and I can get wrapped up in something and forget stuff, which just comes out as lazy.
Let's play now, Jacob, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. Amazing. Okay, Jacob, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. Well, I'll do the Beyonce. What's your biggest aspiration in life?
Wow, beautiful. The biggest aspiration in life. Oh my God. You know what I'm going to say? I was reflecting in your in your life that you are right now, the moment you are right now. You feel so proud, you feel so powerful. And you know what? For me, you know, the inspiration for me in life, Jacob, it's about becoming a better person. It's about becoming a person that, you know, you're not a year ago or 2 years ago or yesterday, maybe, or a few hours ago or before this interview. I love
Right.
it. So I've got goosebumps now. I think, you know, the big inspiration for me, it's every day when I go to myself and I go like, you know what, you're wrong yesterday and you improved or you learned something new. And I think that's for me inspiration of life. I just hope that I can learn the most I can from my life and I can prove to myself that I was wrong as well, because that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you become a better person. So for me, the big inspiration, like overall, is about, you know, living life in a way that you can improve every day and become a better person. And I love that. You know, when I look back in some points of my life as a teenager, I was like, my God, I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew things that nowadays you know, I even think that was completely wrong. And I think that's for me inspiration, the big inspiration for me is for me to know every day I'm going to learn something new. And also, you know, I'm going to make myself wrong, or maybe sometimes I'll be right as well. And I think that's, you know, that's the great point. And yeah, that's the big inspiration for me is about life, about living life, knowing that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make, you know, friends. I'm going to meet lovers. I'm going to meet, you know, people that's gonna leave a mark in my life as a positive, as a negative, you know, and the life goes like that. So yeah, it's like up and down journey. And the big inspiration, back to your question, it's living life for sure.
That's wonderful. Great answer.
Do you
Um,
enjoy the? Yeah,
yeah,
carry
another
on.
one. Another one. What's your favorite color?
Great question. You know what? I like blue for some
Why?
reason. I can tell you, okay, I love colors. I think every color, you know, for example, I love wearing black. I love wearing white, depending, you know, mood or what I'm going to do. But there is something about blue. Actually, I was thinking about that yesterday, the day before, because some reason, something about colors came to my mind, and I was like, oh, my tendency is always going for the blue. So actually, wearing clothes, I don't have any blue color. But however, the
What?
I just realized now, actually, I'm thinking, oh no, actually I do. I have some shirts, like a blue shirt. Yeah, actually I do. But I'm thinking about this very dark blue, you know what I mean? But my tendency, I think for me, blue brings me somehow, I feel calm when I have blue around. I used to live in a house before where the background of my bedroom was like light blue, like this, you know, color of the ocean, yeah, and for some reason, I remember coming back home sometimes. I was feeling so stressed out for some reason. And as soon as I lie down in my bed and I knew the color was there, it just calmed me down. So I think, I don't know, for a great question, actually. I love colors, but blue, I have this tendency going for blue for some reason. Don't know why.
Nice. Good.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the interview, Jacob. It was amazing connect with you. I'm so glad we connected
Yeah.
right now in this time of your life. You know what I mean? I think I can see how you are living the best of yourself. You are just, you know, learn something new. You are connect with people, and I think that's amazing. It's very inspiring, actually. This new journey of sign languages, because you know it's something that it's you can learn a lot about. I'm sure you've done a lot, learning a lot, and something that you can help other people as well. So thanks again for taking time for the interview. And
Yeah.
before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Um, well, I think I'll use my mantra, which is uh, I see you whole, happy, complete, pain-free, and flexible, full of love, and relieved of negative energy.
Amazing. Wow. And again, happy anniversary. You know, congratulations for these 10 years with your
Thank you.
partner. And beautiful to see. I'm glad as well that this came out in the interview. That's really is special. Regards to him and your family and friends, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay,
Yeah, thank you very much for the interview. I enjoyed it. Great
take
question.
care. Have a nice weekend. Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, First, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.